In the past few weeks, we've been exploring the northern states of India and facing some challenges along the way, from missing a flight in Delhi
Oh my god, I cannot believe this is happening.
to experiencing altitude sickness in Ladakh. We've also ventured through the Golden Triangle and narrowly avoided ending up in a Mumbai prison.
No, but you're following us now. This is too much now. It's harassment.
The only normal part of our journey so far has been in Goa, where we enjoyed some delicious food. Along the way, many of you have suggested that we must visit Kerala. So we headed south to the port town of Kochi. Known as the Queen of the Arabian Sea, we're going to spend a day exploring the sights, sampling some local food, and help you decide if this is a place you should visit too.
Been out to the shop, and while you were away, we didn't realise we've got a breakfast basket delivered.
Wow!
And you've got your favourite here, Irfan.
Watermelon!
Sugar, and they've given us a full coffee, which is amazing. Wasn't expecting that.
I was not expecting that. I was thinking, right, I've got so much work to do, and this guy's going to be hungry. We're going to have to take him out to eat, but here we have it.
Let's do it, open it and see what's in. So we've got a bottle of water, a bunch of bananas.
Yes, fruit. Oh, a tiffin box. Bro, this brings back some memories.
Wow, this is so cute,
This
man.
is proper memories, mate. Oh, look at that. That's going to be coconut
Whoa.
rice.
Dal.
Chickpeas. Oh, yes, mate.
Oh, papaya looks like.
Banana.
Ah, looks like coconut rice or something.
Yeah.
And then this big box here.
Here we go. And papad.
Oh, that's so cute,
This is
man.
proper Kerala breakfast.
I can't believe that. That's made my morning. We got here late last night.
Like 12 o'clock, literally. The host just said, hello, how are you? He kind of knew we were absolutely tired and just let us in, and then off we went to sleep. But it's nice waking up in the morning to this. Very, very nice. Was not expecting this.
Cleared the dal. It was absolutely delicious. What a lovely, wonderful surprise.
What a glorious day here in Kochi, and what a perfect way to start our South India adventure here in this beautiful town. We're staying at the barracks in Kochi. There's a couple of ways I've seen it spelled, so please correct me if I'm pronouncing it. Let me know in the comment section below. I kind of like to call it Art Deco building. It's bright yellow, it stands out on this street, and the Airbnb host has been absolutely amazing. This has to be hands down the best accommodation that we've stayed at in the whole of our India trip, and I'm glad that it's now in this lovely place. The bathroom, the room, the accommodation, the living area, all perfect, spacious, aircon, TV, everything. But we're hungry. We're gonna spend the day exploring this lovely town. Let's go and see if we can get a taxi or a tuk-tuk, shall we?
Right, people, so we've made it to a restaurant called Kissa, which means paradise in Persian. Like with a theme that we've seen recently traveling through this part of India, is you have a story behind your meals. So it's like you've stepped into paradise. The ingredients will take your flavours away. So I'm really excited for this breakfast place. We've ordered some pancakes with sangria, and we've gone for a good old American style breakfast. Excited for pancakes? Yeah, pancakes! Nice pancake. That means he likes it. Nice.
Mint and lime. Oh, very fresh.
This looks like an absolute beast of a breakfast. We've gone for the American breakfast. It looks good.
And the oatmeal is not too bad as well, isn't
It's
it?
really refreshing. I'm glad we started off with this. Bit of a balance, isn't it?
But now we're tucking into this bad boy. Get in my belly. So we were gonna walk around for like another hour or so before we call it a afternoon break, because it's really, really hot. But we met this lovely, lovely tuk-tuk driver who's gonna take us around for the next hour or two in his tuk-tuk for 300 rupees and show us all the sights. So I think that's absolute bag in buckets, because we're gonna get to see all the sights around the Fort Kochi area in a tuk-tuk, wind blowing in our faces, and we're gonna see it nicely.
We've got a look. Yeah, mashallah, mashallah. Aslam Bhai wants to promote his tuk-tuk. Whoa, kitted out. Look at that. Let's go, Aslam Bhai.
Let's go.
The best comfy seats I've had in a tuk-tuk ever.
So we've made it to St. Francis Church, which was the first church to be built here in India, and it was the first European settlement of Fort Cochin. So let's go check it out.
So our guide was mentioning a name earlier.
What's Vasco da Gama?
You know Vasco da Gama?
No.
He was saying it quite fast. I didn't quite understand what it was before. But after going into the church, realised actually what he meant was Vasco da Gama. And he was a Portuguese navigator who first arrived here in Kochi in 1502. Later on he died and he was buried in this church right here. But then his remains were transferred over to Lisbon where his tomb is there. But you can see his original tomb still here.
You know what's interesting? So that means that the Portuguese first got here then in Cochin, not Goa. Because we just come from Goa and it was a lot of Portuguese influence there. But if this is the first church in India, then they must have came here first, isn't it?
Yeah.
And settled here. So history dates back to Kochi, I reckon.
1500s. Wow. Right, fambos.
We made it to Mahatma Gandhi Beach. I hope I said that right, I don't butcher the name.
It is a port side where loads of ships come in and out, so you kind of expect it to be a bit choppy, a bit rough, because that's what the boats need to go in and out of the sea. So let's have a look around and see what else we can find here.
That's beautiful, that's beautiful. And this is where you meant to come. This is the nicer view.
Yeah.
See people just sitting here, relaxing with the shade. Try that place, have a little afternoon siesta.
We gave in and Zakaria wanted ice cream. He said ice cream in such a cute way, so we had to get one. Hey, that doesn't look too bad, you know. Nice little ice cream. Kitne ka hai?
20.
20, yeah?
20.
20 rupees, nice.
Okay, made it to another stop here, guys. We made it to an Indo-Portuguese Museum. So let's go and see if we can give you some factual facts about Kochi, shall we?
That's always a good sign. Always a good sign. The Portuguese left an incredible mark on Kochi's history and culture, and the artifacts displayed here clearly show that. Religion played an important role in the Portuguese life from the 1500s right up until when they left, and that's visible with the many cathedrals and churches built within the fort town. A 2-minute drive down the road you have Santa Cruz Cathedral, one of the most impressive churches in the whole of India, which is visited by tourists all year long. Originally built in 1558 and subsequently demolished and rebuilt by the good old British in the early 1900s, this church signifies the diversity of religions within this whole region. So if I said this morning that we were going to visit a place where they wash clothes, you probably would have thought, what the hell? But lo and behold, here we are at a place called Dhobi Khana, which is an old wash house that was made in the 1700s. Wow. Who would have thought that? As we walked through the Dhobi Khana, we got a sense of what a traditional wash house would look like back in the day. This place started off as a wash house used by the Portuguese military to wash their uniforms. Now it's used by the surrounding hotels to get their linen washed, and it's also a communal place where locals can come to do their washing. When you enter, you see men ironing clothes using both traditional charcoal heated irons, while some have switched to the electrical versions. I gave it a little go. Seems like I did an okay job, but swiftly handed it back before I burnt someone's clothes. Some of the locals have been working here since a very young age, and that's also helped to preserve the traditional washing methods. They've got an ingenious way of hanging the laundry without the need of pegs. It acts as a way to save money in needing both to buy pegs and also protect the clothes.
You come from?
From England.
What, Indian?
No, we're Pakistani. Kashmir.
Kashmir.
But I born in England. Bye-bye. I always find it interesting when people ask where we're from and they automatically assume that we're Indian. But with that guy just then, I just said we're from Pakistan. And he was alright, he smiled, and then I think his, I don't know if his attitude changed, maybe I'm getting paranoid, but I don't know, maybe it's just me, maybe I'm getting paranoid, let me know in the comments below. But we've been asked that question so many times and we kind of been told to try to avoid it, especially being here in India, walking around. But to be honest, it's not something that we can deny. You know, we are Pakistani and I don't really want to lie, so if people ask me, I'm going to be straight up about it. But I have seen people's reactions slightly change, but here they have been quite friendly, so it's nice to see. Should we go?
Let's go and check the shops out. So just as we were about to go home and have our afternoon naps and get some work in, our tuk-tuk driver recommended we come to Al Falah to try their biryani here because it is meant to be delicious, and in the afternoon it's fresh, piping hot. So we're going for a beef biryani and a chicken biryani, and the price is very, very reasonable. 130 rupees each. You know what, that's not too shabby. So let's give that a go and see what it's like.
Later that same evening.
Yeah, we're back. We had a nice nap, ready to hit the road. It's nice and cool again. We've now made it to the Dutch Palace. I'm very intrigued to see what it's all about. Apparently, it's like 5 rupees. Wow.
Bargain buckets.
Bargain buckets. One thing I've noticed here, getting into like these entrances, they don't cost hardly anything. It's so cheap. But let's go check it out.
Meanwhile,
Which one is it? So the museum was interesting. Bit of a mixture of history of what happened when the Dutch arrived here and then how the British finally took over from them. Surprise, surprise. Just watch out because there are mixed rules in recording in there. So no big cameras allowed, and you can take your phone inside and take pictures, but no videos.
Nice museum. It's got a mixture of information on there. I was a bit confused. 1 minute talking about the Portuguese, then it transitions over to the Dutch, and then it talked a lot about the British East India Company, which, to be honest, there were a lot of information that we had to read. So I think I'm going to do a quick search online and just learn a bit more about that because I'm quite interested.
So we've just arrived at yet another church here, and this time we're at the St. George Orthodox Church. It's actually a Syrian church, and the special thing about it, it is made from sand and clay that's come all the way from Jerusalem. So that's the significance behind this, because obviously Jerusalem and that whole area is very big for the 3 major religions of the world: Judaism, Christianity and Islam. And being an Orthodox church, you have to cover up.
Yeah, I mean, I have got trousers on, but I think you have to cover your head. That's interesting.
Should we go inside?
Isn't it? Let's go. As soon as you walk in the gates, like with any holy place, you just get that sort of peaceful vibe. And you know what, I don't think I've actually been in an Orthodox church. That was my first time, and it's actually really, really like pretty with the glass windows, stained glass windows. And the shape of this is actually quite unique. I've never seen anything like it.
So where are we now, Pambos?
We have made it to the Spice Bazaar. It's a nice small little shop. As soon as you walk in, you get hit with the ton of spices. Frankincense, everyone was obsessed with at the front over there. You just couldn't believe that it was actually made here.
Yeah, just couldn't believe it. I remember vividly watching this BBC documentary about the frankincense trail, and it's like a big thing in the Arabian countries because it's really good for smells. They've got all types of spices here. They've got saffron, they've got everything. So yeah, it's definitely a place if you want to stock up on some local spices, it's worth coming here.
This lovely lady just gave us cinnamon sticks to try, and I was not expecting the red fireball jawbreaker taste in my mouth. They must use that when they make it. So last stop of the day before we go for some dinner, and we're here at some fishing net place. You can see these big massive fishing nets here on the side. Never seen anything like it.
The sunsets in this part of the world, man, they are absolutely beautiful. It doesn't matter if you're by a port, if you're by the beach, but you know what? They always have this amazing pink colour, and it's just always really soothing to watch.
What an absolute class to ride exploring Kochi all day long. But to end the night, we came here last night, so it's got the seal of approval. We're going to Fusion, which is some traditional Cochin food. They also say it's got traditional Portuguese as well, so I think it's a mix. Cochin Fusion.
We actually came here yesterday to eat, and the food was so delicious. Authentic home style cooking that we had to just come back again. There's loads of really decent rated restaurants around it, surprisingly, but this place was actually came up as one of the top places to eat, and when we got here we knew it was going to be good because there were a mixture of locals and tourists in here. You know what, the food was banging, so I'm looking forward. We've ordered a couple of different dishes today, so let's see how that goes.
Now, we're not really a seafood sort of people, but to be honest with you, these prawns look absolutely delicious, and we should really try the seafood here. I think it's going to be awesome.
So the good thing is they've been split in half. That actually looks like a very nice, good piece of prawn, you know that? Oh, that has got to be fresh prawns because they ain't fishy in the slightest.
Oh, here we are.
That's the dry curry. Peri chicken over here. Give it a bite. Like it?
Really, that's really good. And I never say anything about prawns or fishy food, but this is really nice. I like it. Me eating prawns?
We got so into the delicious food that we forgot to record and show you like what it's like, but that just goes to explain it. It's absolutely delicious. This is proper home cooked food I bet if I went to like some Nani's house here in Kerala somewhere, she'd probably wrap up a dish like this, you know. I've got coconut rice, dry roast chicken, grandma's curry,
Grandma's curry. Grandma's
Which
curry
is-
is absolutely awesome, by the way.
and Zakaria is chowing through that for jokes.
Yeah, he got the whole body. He's
Yeah.
loving it.
And then Nadia went for some peri chicken. Those prawns
Oh my god.
were to die for. I finished them all off. Like the food here is banging and it's not even that expensive either. So definitely check this place out, I would say, definitely.
So we went for spice or something a bit different for dessert because I didn't have any chocolate cake. It said rice pudding in brackets. It doesn't look like rice pudding, but I'm always up for trying something new. It's got like that popper at the top with the brown sort of like jelly like. I think it's going to be sweet, so let's give it a try. Oh, it's hot. Oh. Brown stuff is quite hot, but first impression I got was like a jalebi.
Oh.
But it's like in a round ball, so it's very sweet. It's like a Pakistani Indian sort of sweet dessert. It's very hot and let it cool down. And then at the end, you have that cracker, crunchy taste. The popper taste at the end is really, really nice. I'm quite glad we tried that. What's the latest? Something we've had.
This is more of a halwa taste to it.
Halwa.
Yeah. So you got kheer. I was expecting rice pudding kheer to come out, so white rice, milky, but this I think is like palm sugar rice, which makes sense because we are here by the coast, plenty of coconuts. Palm sugar is made from coconut. This is actually really delicious. Very Moorish. You want some more?
Yeah, yummy. So guys, we hope you enjoyed our first impressions and how we get treated here in Kerala. It has been absolute vibes. People are so friendly. Everyone is so nice and smiley. We've had absolute blast. The food has been absolutely delicious. We're gonna call it a night. But if there's anything that we missed or we could have done, drop it in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Give this video a big thumbs up. And as always guys, follow your visions, and Zakaria says, see you on the next one! While he's having his pop-up shop, or whatever it's called. Bye! That's just to give you an idea of how hot it is. In England, that would last you about 5 months. Probably not the right entrance, but...
We take shortcuts.